In a gut punch of irony that had late-night fans roaring with laughter and scratching their heads, Stephen Colbert flipped the script on National Bosses Day by delivering a savage roast to the CEO who fired him. And trust me, the real story behind it is far from just a comedy bit. Hey there, friends. If you're new to the world of late-night TV or just tuning in for the drama, let me break this down for you in a way that's easy to follow. Stephen Colbert kicked off his Thursday show on The Late Show with a monologue that perfectly captured the awkward tension between employees and bosses everywhere. He started by acknowledging National Bosses Day. That's the annual holiday where we supposedly shower our superiors with gratitude, even if they've made our lives a total nightmare. I join you tonight in a celebratory mood because, as you know, today is National Bosses Day, he said, his tone dripping with that signature sarcasm that makes him a comedy legend. Colbert went on to poke fun at the typical Bosses Day rituals, suggesting we treat our bosses to their favorite gift. 2 minutes of awkward chit-chat until the elevator arrives. He even advised remembering to drop our kids' names so they don't have to pretend to care. It's a lighthearted jab at the superficiality of corporate relationships. And it's hilarious because, let's face it, we've all been there, nodding politely while counting down the seconds. But here's where it gets controversial. The host then zoomed in on the camera, framed by a graphic called the David Ellison Appreciation Cam, with a smiling photo of Paramount CEO superimposed on it. With a deadpan delivery that could freeze lava, Colbert declared, "I want to take a moment to celebrate my new boss, Paramount CEO David Ellison. Mr. Ellison, I love you." He paused for the laughs, then winked at the audience and quipped, "That ought to buy us a couple more months." It's a playful threat wrapped in humor, but it underscores the uneasy power dynamics at play. To understand why this roast stung, we need to rewind to July, when CBS shocked the entertainment world by announcing they'd be pulling the plug on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert in May. This ended a decade-long run for the show and Colbert's stint as host. CBS insisted the move was purely financial, blaming shrinking ad revenues and a changing media landscape. Think streaming services stealing viewers from traditional TV. And fair point, The Late Show was a ratings powerhouse, often topping the late-night charts. Still, many people smelled something fishy. And this is the part most people miss. Comedians like Jimmy Kimmel didn't buy CBS's story. They pointed out that the cancellation came hot on the heels of Paramount's massive $8 billion merger with David Ellison's Skydance Media, which got the green light from the Trump administration. Kimmel suggested the timing was no coincidence, especially since Colbert, a vocal critic of Donald Trump, was ousted just days after the merger approval. For beginners, this merger basically combined big media companies, potentially reshaping how news and entertainment are delivered. But with political strings attached, it raised eyebrows. Colbert's troubles with Trump and Paramount ran deeper. Earlier, he had blasted the company for settling Trump's defamation lawsuit against 60 Minutes with a whopping $16 million payout. "While I was on vacation, my parent corporation, Paramount, paid Donald Trump a $16 million settlement over his 60 Minutes lawsuit," Colbert said back then. He called it a big fat bribe, which many interpreted as Paramount buying peace with the then president to avoid legal headaches. This move angered Colbert, who felt it betrayed the network's integrity. Imagine being an employee who sees your company shell out millions to a controversial figure. It's enough to make anyone question their loyalty. Trump himself reveled in the fallout, boasting on Truth Social that he absolutely loved that Colbert got fired. He claimed Colbert's talent paled compared to his ratings, and even threw shade at other hosts like Jimmy Kimmel and Greg Gutfeld, calling them superior. For context, this was Trump's way of settling old scores, as Colbert had often mocked him on air. Insiders spilled more beans, revealing that The Late Show was indeed pricey to produce. But the consensus among staff was that politics played a starring role. One network source told The Independent that the axing was part and parcel of the Trump shakedown settlement, while another from Status News suggested the Ellisons saw firing Colbert and Jon Stewart, who was also affected, as the ultimate gift to Trump. This paints a picture of Hollywood politics intertwining with national drama, where business decisions might mask personal vendettas. Now, isn't this a wild tale? On one hand, you have the straightforward business explanation. Budgets are tight, times are changing. But on the other, whispers of political payback and corporate favoritism make you wonder, was this really about money, or was it a strategic move to appease powerful players? Do you think Colbert's roast was just good fun, or a subtle rebellion against unfair treatment? Share your thoughts in the comments. Are you team financial reasons, or suspecting deeper motives? Let's discuss.